This time I'll call the October 19th, 2023 meeting to order for the Dixon County Commission. Would you please stand and join in the flag salute? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This morning we have on our agenda one item that we're going to add, and that's to establish a voting delegate and also alternate delegate at our KAC meeting coming up. And with that addition, I will move that we approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second it.
We have the motion and the second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The consent agenda includes the minutes of the October 12th meeting. Expenditures $774,703.20. A security wire of $4,240. The utilities of $8,682.03. Hand checks of $111.70. And then also a credit card wire of $23,369.58.
And it is 111. Okay, sorry. Sorry.
Yeah,
I had $11, so I just wanted to make sure.
His is correct.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
The decimal is in the correct space.
Okay.
But it's better to correct it now if it is.
I move to accept the consent agenda. Period.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second it.
We have the motion and second to accept the consent agenda as presented. Any other discussion or question? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Commission comments, Ron.
I did spend a little time yesterday at the Juvenile Detention Center, and we're going through some progress there. We're having a little bit of trouble with understanding a few situations with the regulations there, but I believe we're all working out. We're hanging in there, so the board's doing pretty good.
And who's all on that board? I mean, not by name, but it's not just our county and
Yeah,
Erie County.
Yeah, and then you asked that. Some of the folks on the board don't show up there at times, but there's Jim Barber of Morris County, Gary Casper, Cloud County, and Keith Asher at Gary County, who's been replaced by Trish, and I can't pronounce her last name.
Darno.
Myself, folks from Pottawatomie County, Darren Stewart, and Sin Kowalski has been replaced by a person from Saline County, and David Mueller from Marion County. Craig McKinley from Riley County, Ed Spingle, Republic County, and James Gable from Lincoln County, Richard Buck from Ottawa County. So.
Okay, thank you. Craig.
Yeah, I will be attending KAC meeting in Topeka next Wednesday. A couple of issues that we've talked about before, the LATVR, which is still I think the legislature's, let's say KAC, the counties are pushing to have it reinstated. And something that's could be just the biggest issue is the state Senate concurrent resolution 1611, which would be a constitutional amendment to tax or to put a lid on appraised values being set at 4%. I talked to Lisa about it a little bit this morning, a little bit before with some other issues, but I won't take away from her introducing her new friend there. But that's going to be something that could be just as big as the other issue. That's all.
And the good thing, just to follow up on that, is that if they would pass that in the legislature, it would go to a vote. And so there'd still be opportunity for people to vote on it.
Right.
And I thought Sean, he was an appraiser over, what's his last name? Robertson. And he's from Saline County, and he had presented to the taxation committee and kind of pointed out the advantages and disadvantages. And of course, the one advantage, it was going to stabilize maybe some of those valuations, but then the downside was it could lead to some legal action, but also it's a disadvantage for someone that's buying a new home.
Right.
And so
For a first-time home buyer.
first time home, yes. So if someone that's retired, it might be an advantage, seems to be an advantage. It wouldn't necessarily be fair and equitable, but then if you have someone that's, say, in college right now and in the next few years gets married and they decide as a couple to buy their first home, all of a sudden they're going to be paying a higher rate of tax than their grandparents.
Mhm.
And they may have half the home and be paying a greater load. So there are a lot of problems with it. I did have my Central Kansas Mental Health Board meeting. This evening, we have our Dixon County Economic Development Board meeting that I plan to attend. And then next week, I tentatively plan to attend the Military Affairs Council breakfast in Junction City. And that one, because it comes towards the end of the month on a Thursday. They do not have it in November because it's so close to Thanksgiving or on Thanksgiving. And then they also skip it in December because that's such a full month and close to Christmas time. So this will be the last meeting that they have this calendar year. Also, earlier this morning, we had representatives from Harrington. Thatcher Modi, he is the Harrington City Manager. And then also Harold Courtois and Angie Johnson and Elgin Glanzer were here, and they're trying to see what they can do to address the situation in Harrington with the Harrington Hospital being closed. It's really a very quick response that they're doing to help provide some sort of a solution. But having said all of that, they would have to tentatively come up with a clinic and get that prepared. But also there's a lot of federal regulations that would be involved. And so it's something that even if it's on a fast track or a quick response, as what Harold had mentioned, we could be looking 3, 4, 5 months. If it gets tangled up in red tape, it could take longer than that. So, we certainly want those in Harrington to know that we're in support of them and want them to kind of persevere. But I mean, it could be kind of rough. Having said all that, if someone calls 911, EMS they send an ambulance immediately and in a timely manner. And so the area is covered. So. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on. We do not have any petitions or proclamations. We do have Lisa Berg here today. And so would you please step up to the podium, and you have Bradford with you, and tell us a little bit about what this recognition and achievement that Bradford Hinkle has accomplished, what it involves. So
in our office, continuing education is a huge part of being able to value certain properties and move forward with any kind of designations or certificates. And Bradford has completed IAAO 300, which is a lot of statistical testing of dispersions, evaluations, and everything. And so he completed that successfully. And that will allow him to value commercial properties, start validating sales for our county, and just require additional training on that. So Bradford, step up there.
And Bradford, tell us a little bit about yourself too, and how long you've been with the department.
I've been with the department about 18 months. It'll be 18 months on the 25th. I come from a background in manufacturing and warehousing, distribution fields. I worked for Hallmark Cards for about 32 years, took early retirement from there, and then worked for Pepsi as a warehouse supervisor, warehouse operations manager. and also at Abilene Machine, warehouse receiving supervisor out there. Unfortunately, I got COVID and had it pretty bad. So they said, we can't wait for you to get well. So they let me go. But I found the job here in the county, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the work, and I enjoy the opportunity to improve myself and the continuing education part of that. So I appreciate all those opportunities to do that. It makes the job a little more interesting, and one of the most interesting parts of the job is getting out and meeting people in the county, and just getting to know people in the county. And we go out, we do field inspections a lot. So we meet people out there, and we hear their concerns, and we just want to let them know that we're just trying to do a fair and equitable job, what we do. But if a lot of people, what we find is that if you educate them, and teach them about how the process works, that they're a little more amenable to what we do and how we do it. I have a background. My dad grew up in Dixon County. He grew up about a mile north of Hope, Kansas. Went to school at Manhattan Christian College, and both my parents met there. But I actually grew up in Illinois and came to Kansas to go to KU. Got accepted in the School of Engineering there at KU. Fortunately, I was a little short-sighted in my youth. Didn't finish. Met a young gal and decided to get married. That kind of messed things up there, but
Which one messed what?
okay, don't say.
Don't say.
Two sides to every story.
You get to be a certain age, you think, okay, I could go back to school, but you say, I'm too old to be carrying the student loans now. So just the opportunity to have education here and learn something new, something completely different from what I've done in my life, and kind of reinventing myself a little bit. So I appreciate that opportunity to do that. But I have 4 children. My first wife passed in 2007. And we had 4 children, and married a gal from Arkansas, and she has 3 children. So we have, in June of next year, we'll have 15 grandchildren. So
Oh, my
it's
goodness.
pretty busy. So that's kind of a nutshell of me. But
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate having you here. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head when you mentioned, on the appraisal part, we're trying to be fair and equitable. And there are certain guidelines that we follow. And Lisa, I appreciate all the work you do in the appraiser's office directing it. And it's nice to know you're surrounded by some great employees and people that are very meticulous in their work. So we have a county newsletter that goes out. And since you've had this achievement, why don't you come up here and we'll get a picture. Janelle can write up the details, or she can Photoshop the commissioners so we look a little better. Why don't you come up behind us here and we'll just get one on each side. And
I didn't get royalties for this, so I'm not.
that's how I got dressed up today.
Yeah, we're Abilene Orange.
Abilene Orange, there you go. Okay, good to go.
Thank you.
all so much.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Lisa, good to see you again.
Take care. Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys.
Well, the continuing in education, is important. And I mean, that's one thing on all our departments. We try to move ahead and stay on that cutting edge. And, it's good to have dedicated employees.
And I will say in this office in particular, and the training that's required, that's a pretty major accomplishment within 18 months to be able to get through that class and become certified. So
Well, and then when you mentioned the name, I mean, Hinkle is kind of a familiar name down north of Hope in that area.
Max was his uncle, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wondered when he said he
Yeah.
grew up
mhm.
that area, so. you know, his grandfather would have been caretaker of the cemetery at Good Hope. So
Okay.
a couple decades ago, 3 decades ago, maybe. Okay. This is opportunity. If there's anyone listening or anyone here that would like to bring up anything that is not on the agenda, or if they had a question, and we do have some listening in as well as a few people here. Does not appear that there is any public comment today, so we'll go ahead and move on to our next item is report of county officers. Janelle.
Commissioners, I'm happy to report that the bridge at 1145 First Road is on schedule. They've moved to the west side and seems to be going quite well. So that is good. I can't say that they're going to be ahead of schedule, but they are on schedule, which is good. The weather has cooperated with that. The countywide cleanup is finishing this week. There was a small mishap there at the transfer station where a local trash truck the trash caught on fire in it. So they were able to offload it out in the parking area, and Grant Township Fire Department responded. So they were able to take care of that. And obviously KDHE was notified, and we're monitoring that. So not sure exactly what it was. Somebody said maybe grass was on fire in the back of the truck, and then just caught the rest of it on fire, unfortunately. So we also had the road rating, or the pavement rating, drive through this week. Martin and Mark and Chad McCullough, our county engineer, and I went out and evaluated the roads, and we'll have a report. This is our planning. This is what the highway department does to plan for future work in the next year, next 5 years. It's in his mind. And obviously that's a fluid target, because things pop up unexpectedly, but it gives them an idea and a plan of how many miles we'll be able to overlay, how many miles we'll chip seal, how many miles we'll mastic seal in the coming year at least, so we can plan in the budget for that. So, and then
Question about that.
uh-huh.
What's the core drilling? How often do you do that?
They don't do that regularly unless there is a pretty major problem, and then they would go out and have the core drilling if we need to do more than an overlay.
Oh, yeah, we haven't done it since I've been on.
Right.
Yeah, right.
That's not something we traditionally do unless,
You know, schedule, only if there's a problem.
only if there's a problem. Yeah. So, and then the Purple Wave auction was completed, and with everything that was sold, $77,370. So, and there was quite a few items, if you recall, several vehicles, there were doors and electronic equipment, things like that. So I think it was probably pretty successful. And that's all I would have.
Okay, thank you. Doug.
I don't have anything. Thank you.
Okay. Well, notices and communications, did anyone receive any information?
We didn't get it on the computer, Lynn.
Okay. And let's see. I think I did receive a email from one of the members of the juvenile board, and just informational, kind of raised some of their areas of concern. And other than that, I did not have anything else. So we need to go ahead, and we do not have any resolutions to consider.
Actually, Lynn, we do. It's just
It
listed
just wasn't listed
other
Right.
business.
It's listed.
under other business.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and put that in then and consider that resolution at this time. It's authorizing a deferred comp plan for the employees of Dixon County. You want to give us just a summary of that, Janelle?
Commissioners, this is the Kansas Public Employees Retirement System 457 plan. So what we're asking for is approval to offer another option to our employees for an additional retirement plan. There's other two programs that they could utilize if they so choose. But Capers also has a plan that we want to make sure that they are aware of and have the ability to contribute to if they so choose. So the resolution is approval that we'll send back to Capers to adopt this compensation plan. And then we'll add it to our list of benefits to the employees. Our process would be that we'll add a code into the payroll system. If an employee chooses to contribute, there'll be forms that they'll have to fill out to let us know their information, the dollar amount, banking information, and that's going to be the extent of what the county's responsibilities would be. So we would ask that you approve the resolution 10/19/23.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution 10/19/23.
Second.
we have the motion and the second for approval of resolution 10/19/23. This is a resolution authorizing a deferred compensation plan for the employees of Dixon County. Any other discussion or question? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Next item we have is, this is the state of Kansas Capers agreement.
This is the agreement that goes along with the resolution allowing us to join the plan. And we're just asking for permission for me to assign the agreement and submit it back to the state. So it goes hand in hand with the resolution.
Any questions from the commission? Is there a motion?
I made the motion.
Second.
Well, this is on the state of Kansas Capers.
Okay, yeah.
So it's a
It's a different,
I'm sorry.
different item. So you're making the motion on it.
Yes.
Craig has
Second.
given the second. This will allow us for that agreement with the state of Kansas Capers Joinder agreement. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next item we have, there's a KAC convention coming up. And part of that, we need to have a voting delegate and also an alternate for that.
they're asking for
Portion of the meeting.
alternates if
Two alternates,
they
okay.
are, so.
I'd be the primary alternate and you and Janelle be the secondary.
So you'll be the
Yeah, primary.
primary
Yeah.
vote caster. And I would be
Two
an
alternates.
alternate and Janelle would be the other alternate. I'll second that. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there anything else to bring before the commission? We have some papers we'll need to sign before you leave. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second it.
We have the motion and second to adjourn. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned.